We've been 8 months stuck within walls, with screens to see and speak. It is innate for us to seek freedom, fresh air away from the confinements we establish ourselves. The need for green and open spaces in cities is growing. People where city dwellers can relax, socialize, and recharge. However, do our cities recognize this particular need? And do our cities even have enough open spaces for its citizens? For every home that constitutes a community, we have parks, open spaces, and recreation areas at the heart of every city. Or do we?
I am placing the entire mainland of Luzon under quarantine.
Metro Manila is the most congested city out of all 278 cities in developing Asia.
More and more buildings are being built, turning cities into concrete jungles.
COVID-19 pandemic is an opportunity for the Philippines to correct past urban planning mistakes, to create more open spaces in preparation for the new normal.
They're going to sell Arroceros Park. No to selling of Arroceros Park.
Then open spaces are the lungs of the city. Metro Manila doesn't have enough open space.
Urban island heat or effect is the result of very little greenery or open space in the cities.
In every bustling city, a city park comes in handy. In between the skyscrapers and sidewalks, here it awaits.
Here in Metro Manila, about a fifth of its total land area comprised of green spaces is alarmingly insufficient with the highly dense and continuously roaring population of the metropolis. More so, it had been quite a trend how we find our natural assets exploited in between conflicting political and capitalist interests that concerned citizens were recently up in arms after the Arroceros Forest Park in Ermita, dubbed as the city's last lung, was threatened with the proposed building of a gymnasium. However, advocates were afforded with a sigh of relief and now hold on to a promise after Mayor Isko Moreno said he would not allow development inside the Riverside Park.
6 out of every 10 Filipinos crowd themselves into the cities, and all the buildings added to the congestion. The disappearance of green spaces like parks is bad for the health and safety of the people. According to architect Alcazaren, there should be 50 square meters of green spaces for every Filipino. But in Metro Manila, only 5% of the whole metropolis remains green, and most of those areas are not within easy reach. That's far from enough for nearly 13 million Filipino residing in the capital of the Philippines. One might wonder, how are parks relevant during a pandemic? In fact, various specialists such as medical professionals and urban planners encourage everyone to be out in the open air since activity outdoors allow more ventilation compared indoors. Top urban planner Felino Palafox Jr. believes the coronavirus pandemic is an opportunity for the Philippines to correct past urban planning mistakes and create more open spaces in preparation for the new normal. More urban gardens and pocket parks, wider sidewalks and bicycle lanes, and converting basketball courts into makeshift COVID-19 centers are just some of the ways the government can transform Metro Manila in the middle of the pandemic. This is an aerial photo of Metro Manila to show how much the city lacks green and open spaces.
The mental health benefits of being outside and in nature are well documented. In the quarantine months of March to May, the National Center for Mental Health got double the calls per month compared to the months before lockdowns. There was an increase in suicide-related calls, an average of 45 calls a month as of May end. Numerous studies already attest to the healing powers of the outdoors. According to the WHO, physical activity in a natural environment can help remedy mild depression and reduce physiological stress indicators.
During the pandemic, people in cities have seen how valuable green space is for the mental and physical health. We should protect and expand green space and make it benefit accessible to all.
As most of us fight silently in their abodes, we urge the national government and LGUs to make way for green open spaces as much as possible within the communal environment, so that as we finally go out in the open, there'll be more for us to breathe as there was before we were released by the pandemic. COVID-19 has shown people in cities how valuable green spaces is for health, both mentally and physically. We urge city planners and government officials to start now to protect and expand green space and make its benefits accessible to all.